Today, we won't be needing anything in here because we're going to be playing with nail polish and stamping. I have an Amazon stamping plate that we're going to put to the test today. It retails for around $2 a piece, so I'm just gathering all of my supplies. I'm going to show y'all from prep to end and how long it was able to wear, so let's get started. First, with my glass cuticle pusher, I'm just going to gently push back the cuticle that's on my natural nail. This is going to help the polish and everything adhere properly so I don't have any lifting, chipping, cracking, all of that. So once I'm done with this, I'm just going to clean it up with the other end to make sure I don't have anything stuck. Then with my glass nail file, I'm just going to do a quick shaping. I'm already back down to my shorties because I broke one, so it's not going to take long. With my pH prep, this is also known as a dehydrator, we're just going to cleanse our natural nails of any oils. Now we can start on application. So I'm going to grab my Smooth E base coat from Essie. I really like this one. So we're just going to do a thin, even layer across the natural nail and let this dry. It dries down pretty quick. Once you stop seeing that shine and you see it go matte, then you know you're ready for your polish. I'm actually trying to expand my nail polish collection, so I purchased this shade. It is called A Little Melodramatic, and it says it's marshmallow scented, but I'm not sold on that. I don't know, it still smells like nail polish to me, and this is where I was a little bit confused. When I tried to take this off, it popped right off, but I just saw on their Instagram page the other day that they're using it as like a stand for your finger, so is that supposed to happen? Is it not? I'm not sure, but this shade, you guys, is so gorgeous. It's like a milky white baby pink with the perfect rounded brush. I do feel as though I could have left a little bit more on my brush on this first layer to prevent some of that streaking and so that I'm not having to put too much pressure on the brush bristles themselves. So when I go in for the second coat, I'm gonna leave a little bit more on there. Also, please bear with me. I got a new camera, so I'm trying to figure out all the settings and things, so if something seems out of focus, that's why. Now that that first layer is dry, I'm going to go in for the second coat, and this is when you can really appreciate that stunning color. It is a true milky shade with that milky white but a light pink undertone. I've heard that these shades can be difficult to use, but honestly, this one just self-levels beautifully. Now I'm going to let this dry, but I would love to know if you've tried out this brand. Is that pretty on par with all of their formula? Because I think I'm going to need more shades. Here's the stamping plate I'm going to be using today. It's from Born Pretty. My girlfriend Marla gifted me a few of these from this bundle. It retails for $16.99, and so that makes them about $2 a piece. For size reference, you can see how large these images are next to my natural nail. So I was very curious to see if I was even going to be able to make this work. When you first get a stamping plate, it's going to have this blue film on top, so be sure to remove that, and then you'll see it's going to be shiny and silver like mine. I'm going to put down some paper towels to protect my workstation from the acetone, the nail polish, all the things. Then I've gone ahead and grabbed some Scotch tape. You can also grab a lint roller for this as well, and you're going to need 100% pure acetone, no additives, because this is going to clean our stamping plate. We're also going to need some cotton balls, and y'all, these are the smallest cotton balls I've ever seen. I asked my husband to grab me some from the store, and so just a tip, make sure you ask for large or jumbo size. I didn't know that was a thing, but as you can see on the back, it is. Regular is also known as tiny. I've got my scraper here and also my jelly stamper. So I really like these jelly stampers from Maniology. I seem to have the best luck with this particular brand, so I just keep sticking with it. I'm going to clean it off and prep it with some Scotch tape just to make sure I don't have anything left on it before I start. Now with my sticky base coat from Maniology, I'm going to apply a thin layer of this on my pointer finger and let it dry. I'm only going to work one nail at a time when it comes to the base coat because I found once I get all the way to my pinky nail, the sticky base coat was too dry and no longer sticky. So I like to do sticky base coat one nail at a time, one design at a time. For my stamping polish, I'm going to use the shade Heart of Gold. It is a beautiful, warm, metallic gold shade. It's so pigmented and bright. So I left this in real time so you can see exactly how fast I move. I apply the polish on the design, and then I quickly grab my scraper. We're going to scrape across and then quickly grab our stamper with a very gentle roll of your wrist on top. Don't apply a lot of pressure. Here's the design. It picks up beautifully, and then we're going to place it where we like. I'm going to start on the center, and then I like to roll my stamper across the nail and get all the way over to those sidewall areas, just gently rolling to make sure it's stuck on there. Here's an uncomfortably close-up shot. I want you to see just how beautiful and even the design looks, everything picked up beautifully. And a little tip here is to use that Scotch tape to clean up any of that stamping polish that you got on your skin. It comes off easily. Now, because these are such large images, we got to be strategic about the parts that we want to keep and where we want to put them on the nail. So I really like this corner area. I love when things kind of cascade off the nail. So that's what I'm going to try to do is get these leaves in this side rows here. I'm going to clean off my stamper with some tape to get it ready for the next nail. If I was trying to redo this same design, then I would clean it with some acetone and a cotton ball first, but since we're not, we don't need to. So we're going to apply a layer of our sticky base coat and let this dry. Then this next section is in real time again, so I apply my layer of my stamping polish, quickly scrape over top the design, and then we got to grab our stamper. So a very gentle roll across the design. And honestly, y'all, I was so impressed with how even, pigmented, and intricate the designs are, and they're picking up beautifully. So once I line it up, I just start in the center and roll my way out to those sidewall areas, making sure I get all the way to the corners. Here's how we're looking. Now I'm going to use the tape to clean up all of the stamping polish I got on my skin, and then we're going to clean up all of our tools to start the next nail. So with the tape, I clean up my stamper, and then this is going to drive me nuts if I leave it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my micro cotton ball and some acetone and clean off my stamping plate before moving on. So I apply a layer of my sticky base coat to my next nail and let it dry. Optional step here would be to waste the time away and admire the other nails that you finished. Yes, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm just smitten with them. So I like this design here. I love the cascading effect. So I want to grab that edge piece. So I'm going to apply the polish here, and you're going to see I actually struggled, and I let this in to show you I'm human. I scrape and you can see so much is missing. So I thought, you know what? Let me apply some more polish. Maybe I didn't have enough. And I try again and I scrape again, and it really just isn't working. I go to pull it up on the stamper just to try to see, but I see so much is missing, so I decide to scrap it. This time I'm going to try scraping in a different direction. So rather than scraping down, I'm going to scrape to the side, and it worked so much better. Once I pick up the design, I see it went on evenly, so I'm really happy with it. I'm going to clean up all of these straggler pieces with some tape so I don't get that on my nail. Then I line it up, starting center, and just rolling it down towards the side. At this point, I'm super impressed because there's such fine lines and so intricate, but it's picking up beautifully besides the user error earlier, but honestly, we figured it out. So I'm just going to clean everything off again and get ready for my pinky nail, apply my sticky base coat, and then I wanted it to be cohesive, so I went back to this same design on my pointer finger, and I'm going to put it up here on my pinky. I will say I was super worried if I was going to be able to make this work on my little shorty nails, but honestly, if you're strategic about the designs and what you want on your nail, it totally works. So now for my thumb. This ended up being my favorite nail out of all of them. I went back to this rose because I wanted to tie it back in, and I was able to get a lot more of the design because more nail real estate, right? Bigger thumbnail. And the way it just cascades and you get so much more of that detail, it is gorgeous. Now that I'm done, I'm going to clean off all my supplies. You can also use tweezers so that you don't ruin your manicure if you don't want to touch the acetone and the cotton ball. We're going to clean off our scraper, and then again with some tape, clean off our stamper before putting the lid on, and then you're done with that, y'all. That's it for the stamping part. So with my smudge-free top coat, I'm going to apply a layer of this to the design first. This is going to prevent the design from smudging or smearing before going in for our normal traditional favorite nail polish top coat. So this to me is just a must-have step for when I'm doing any sort of stamping. Once this is dry, it dries pretty quick. I'm going to go in with my Essie's Gel Setter nail polish top coat. It does not have gel in it, but it's just got that gel-like finish. So it's thicker, juicy, shiny. I'm going to attempt to cap off my free edge, but honestly, it's so hard because they're so short. So I'm just making sure I get all the way to those corners and the free edge, and then I'll show you guys how long I was able to wear this manicure. Then it's important that we let this fully dry. No stickiness, no tackiness, nothing. It has to be completely dry to the touch before going in for some cuticle oil. This is a must-have step for any beautiful, long-lasting manicure. It's important that we take care of not just our skin, but also our nails so that we don't have any brittleness, peeling, bending, all of that. It starts with this step right here, is keeping them moisturized and hydrated. Overall, I would totally buy more of these stamping plates. The designs picked up beautifully and easily, besides that little hiccup on my own part. I do feel as though it is a team effort. So, by having these good quality stamping polishes, it makes the world a difference, plus the other tools. But they do go hand in hand beautifully. I'm really happy with it. I'd highly suggest it if you want to give it a try. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next week.